What is up, mental patients? My name is Tormental, and let's face it, Overwatch fans, when it comes to legendary skins, Widowmaker has gotten the short end of the dick. But anyway, let's see what we can do about that. I'm going to be looking at 3 skins that I've picked out in the fan art community around Overwatch. How much more can I drag this out? That I think would be good in the actual game itself. Now, I could have done one of those shitty videos where it's like, 10 skins that could be added to the game, and I could have just filled it with, shitty skins or whatever. I filtered out all the shitty ones. We're just going to do 3. We're going to do the top 3, the ones I think make the most sense, the ones that can be added, and ones that should be added. Alright? Does that make sense? We're not going to go for outlandish things they would never do. We're not going to just, throw in a bunch of random stuff that doesn't matter. Alright, let's just get started. Poor Widowmaker, don't got no skins. Let's get rolling here. First up, we've got Dark Elf Widowmaker. Now, this is a skin I've seen around for a while, and it basically was a Halloween skin that somebody made, but, I think it works whatever. Works whenever. It's a fantasy-themed skin. It's got the pointed ears, making her into, I guess, a dark elf. Is that the right term? I don't know. Drow, is that the right term? I have no idea. Makes her into a dark elf, sort of along the lines of maybe World of Warcraft, things like that. I just think the outfit works in general for Widowmaker because it's tight, it's black, it's got the evil claw talon element to it. It's got the big puffy feather shoulder thing. Now, as you may know, certain lines come with certain skins in the game, things they say will change. Like when you get the Huntress skin for Widowmaker, instead of saying, "No one shall hide from my sight," she says, "No one hides from the Huntress," because she's the Huntress now. So if we did a fantasy skin like this, it might be, might be interesting if she said something like, "You shall not pass without being seen," or something like that. Like a little Lord of the Rings reference, just whatever fantasy elements they could throw in there, just little touches here and there. I don't know. Up next, we've got Widowmaker as a good guy. I mean, this kind of is like one of those what-if type scenarios where it's like, what if she was a good guy instead of a bad guy? But here's the thing. I think an Overwatch skin for Widowmaker, as in a skin where she's dressed like an actual Overwatch agent, I think that is actually pretty cool. I think that actually would lend, some interesting choices, because when you're fighting alongside Soldier 76, fighting alongside, Mei, and all these characters in the game, it kind of would be interesting if you had the option to, have Widowmaker in, a good guy outfit. Maybe she's either reformed in the future, or maybe this is an alternate reality version, whatever. I mean, the skins that are in the game already don't necessarily make sense. I mean, you've got Junkrat dressed like Dr. Junkenstein, which is, from a story that Reinhardt tells or something, so it's not necessarily, a bad idea to just have some alternate ideas or some different things to work with that, maybe canonically don't, work, but, would work just visually and just be interesting and fun to play around with. I mean, maybe if you're wearing... Sometimes they have the little interactions between characters. Maybe if you have the good Widowmaker skin, Tracer could say something like, "Well, I'm glad you finally joined our team." But anyway. Third and last on our list, we have Le Mort Rouge, the Red Death Widowmaker. Now, I had to put this as my third one and build up to it because I think this is a really, intricate skin. I think it works really well for the character. And I'm not sure if this was intended, but it could sort of relate to, Edgar Allan Poe's Mask of the Red Death, because it's the Le Mort Rouge, the Red Death, I think is what it translates to, if I'm correct. But yeah, basically, I think that this one works really well because we've already got the Huntress skin. And we see where Blizzard is going with that. They made her sort of like a old-timey, powdered wig era, whatever the fuck, and, whatever you want to go with. And so I thought that this would actually fit in with what Blizzard is already doing, making it probably the most likely one we could actually see in the game. And I'm not saying that they actually will put in any of these fan skins. It's just, that's how I'm grading it. I'm grading it on, what would most likely, fit in the game and, possibly be in the game, etc. and so forth. So yeah, we've got Le Mort Rouge Widowmaker. I really like the fact that, and I'm not someone who really worries about how characters are dressed in games, like if they're too scantily clad or anything like that. But I will say that I very much like the fact that this is an actual full-fledged outfit for the character. Like, it's a full-fledged, like, Renaissance costume. But yeah, no corners cut. All the little details are there. It just seems perfect to me. So now I want to break away a little bit from your standard top list of skins video. What I'm going to do is give you some ideas for all the fan artists out there who might see this, and hopefully will see this. I'm going to give you some ideas for Widowmaker fan skins that you might want to create. Because in looking at the fan skins, I saw a lot of fantasy widows. I saw a lot of Widowmakers, with like a different insect theme, like, Scorpion Widowmaker, Hornet Widowmaker, Grasshopper Widowmaker, things like that, instead of, Black Widow Spider. I would like to see people stretch their imaginations, do a little bit more with Widowmaker in your fan skins. I would like to see Bride Widowmaker. Widowmaker as a bride, with the veil, hopefully, because then you could just reverse the colors, turn the dress black, and she's Widowmaker in mourning. Now, if you know the story of Widowmaker, she was brainwashed and made to kill her husband. So, I mean, what better than, like, some kind of creepy bridal gown, maybe that's, like, ripped on the side or something, or, what have you, that she goes to combat in, and, as I said, flip the colors, make it black, and it's, for a funeral. I also think it would be cool to do a Red Queen outfit, like, from Alice in Wonderland, so on and so forth. Really deck her out as, like, a regal figure, like maybe with a tiara, crown, whatever, as the Red Queen. Why would that be good? Because off with their heads. I mean, headshots, that's what she's all about. Second to last thing I would suggest, what about just, like, a ghillie suit? What about, like, a camouflaged outfit? I mean, she's a fucking sniper. Shouldn't she be, like, trying to hide? And, to give it a little bit of a Widowmaker touch, give her a ghillie suit with some, grass on it, some leaves on it, what have you, but maybe a few roses, maybe a few flowers, or whatever the fuck I was going to say. Just something to make her look, because right now the skins they have for her, they're not really good sniping attire. You could be a ballerina, or you could be like some odd century huntress in like a powdered wig thing going on. It's not really very good for going out and sniping at people, you know what I'm saying? So why not give her an actual sniper's outfit? Something camouflaged, but not, not so crazy that you would never see her in game. So as I said, throw a few red roses on it. Like they're growing out of the grass, whatever. Last but not least, why not a fucking mime? I mean, she's French. She's French. As a French person, you could dress her as two things. You could dress her as a mime, or you could dress her as a baguette. So why don't you dress her as a fucking mime? Where are the mime skins? Where's all the fan art of Widowmaker as a mime? Huh? And, especially since when she kills somebody, she could have the line, "Silent but deadly." That's it. I'm gonna end right there. I'm gonna end on a fart joke.